Yeah, good morning, everyone. Maria back with another video. I slept really good last night. I mean, it was wonderful. As a matter of fact, I usually don't go back to bed, but I think I might lay back down after a while. But I woke up this morning and I was thinking about the significance of college and my view on that matter, and also why I don't believe that. Number one, I don't believe that. I believe a college education at this point in this day and age is a dime a dozen, and I think in this situation you can kind of look around and you can kind of see that my point, that I'm making a lot of points and that I'm actually correct in this situation. Now, I know that Steve Landry walked into uh, uh, Murray Family Farms with no education whatsoever, and he was given the opportunity to be a general manager, to preside over an entire operation. And this is not uncommon. I mean, I see this in a lot of companies, okay? The advantage that Steve Landry had was, of course, his color and probably his sex. I know a lot of people advance themselves based on this privilege, and this is quite obvious, okay? Now, my decision to go back to college is just because I wanted to be a CPA, period. Now, there was a time where people actually looked at your experience and took it for, it was valuable, okay? In a situation now, if everybody has a 4-year degree, okay, what makes this person stand out from the rest? What makes them stand out from the rest is their talents, their unique skills, or whatever. This has to be taken in consideration. I don't believe in college. I don't. Okay, like I said, the only reason why I decided to go back to college is because I want to become a certified public accountant. I don't believe in this day and age that the majority of the college students are actually receiving a good education to where they're actually applying their knowledge. This is a great example of it. Now, I'm not saying that college is something that should be done away with. I'm just going to say that I believe that college is, in a lot of ways, I believe college is a scam. There's a lot of different colleges that are cropping up online and whatnot. Because it's a money-making business. They're in it for the sake of making money. There's several people, there's a lot of examples of people who go to college and they come out and they have absolutely no opportunities for them whatsoever, okay? So it doesn't guarantee success. Doesn't guarantee you a job. It doesn't guarantee that it's going to make you successful on the job, okay? Because obviously people take in knowledge and they walk away with absolutely nothing in their mind at all. It's like they just went through the motions and they actually retained absolutely nothing. So, yeah, in my mind, I think a college education is a dime a dozen, and I would not use that as the main criteria as far as hiring. There used to be a time where, there was a debate as to whether or not, trade schools or college, one was better than the other. And, even some of the universities, such as DeVry University, started off as a trade school or a training school. And all of a sudden, I believe in early 2000s, they converted that because they know that college is a way of making money. And the college, to me, is a trap for the simple fact that many times people go into college. They go to college, and like I said, there is no guarantee, and oftentimes they walk away with a debt that is a complete and total burden to them, okay? The way I look at things, okay, and the way a lot of employers used to look at things was basically you could either have college or you could go with experience, and they used to be very valid, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to get into accounting, and I was building it off of experience. The only reason why I went to college is because I just felt like it would be. I wanted to have my own particular goals. Okay, I've been working in accounting for 20 years, okay? This April, okay, marks 20 years, okay, because I started in 1997. And so, and I see there's a lot of people in this town who have management positions that really have no college at all. So the issue is I'm being attacked with, of course, discrimination, and that's pretty much the bare bottom line. Anybody can go into my, what do you call it? I guess if you look at my resume, you'll see, a list of not all my employers, but my employment actually goes back a very long time. So, I know people get really wrapped up in college. Like I've mentioned, there's a few people who really have no excuse. Like, for example, I mentioned the lawyer who happens to be a mayor who got involved in this, okay? Now, I know that being a lawyer, college is extensive, okay? But yet, this issue just kind of slipped right through. And he completely ignored, okay, certain things that he had to know. So, my point is that, when I think of people who think that that's some sort of guarantee, or that it actually does that it provides any value, I'm not saying that it doesn't help you learn, okay? Because some people might actually benefit from college, okay? But I don't believe that the debt is worth it. I don't believe that. I believe that it's a drain on most people. If you go to college and you walk away with debt to the amount of what the average person has to carry, you're not actually walking away with a benefit. You're not, because you have this huge loan that you're stuck with that can't be discharged through bankruptcy. I think that college is a waste of time, okay, for a lot of people. That's not to say for everybody, but for the majority of people, I would say that it is, okay, because there's a lot of people, like I said, who've gone to school and they are sitting there with absolutely no job in their field. They usually end up having to give up and just go on and do something else. So it's a risk, okay? It's a very big risk, okay? And so if people acted this out through jealousy, because I'll tell you, I never had an issue with this before. If people are acting out through jealousy in employment, or they're just feeling like, well, they're snubbing me for that very reason, I'm going to say that you're not supposed to enact any kind of rage on a person, and if my family got involved in this, I don't ever recall talking to them about my goals in the first place. So for them to have some sort of personal attachment to it, they have no right to, okay? I don't get involved with my plans or my goals with anybody, because I feel as though it doesn't motivate me to involve my family, okay? And I must have done this on a subconscious level. I don't have a relationship really with my family. When I see them, it's more like, hi, bye, how are you? I don't involve them into my personal life, and I would prefer them to stay out of it. They're not of any motivating factor to me at all. And on some level, I must have somehow realized this. They don't do anything for me. I don't get my influence. I don't get my motivation. I don't get inspired by them, or most of the people that I've known. It's like, I see what I need to do, and I do it, okay? The problem with it is that, I'm dealing with discrimination, period, okay? There used to be a time where I would see ads in job postings where they would say, okay, 4-year degree, or you could have 2 years of college, or experience, or it would say something along the lines of 10 years experience, or a 4-year degree, or something along those lines, okay? You can't tell me that you can just negate 20 years of experience and say that that's nothing, because when you're looking at terms of equivalency, 20 years is going to supersede a bachelor's degree every time. As a matter of fact, 20 years supersedes a master's degree, okay? And the very fact that I have more knowledge in business than the majority of the people who involve themselves in this should speak volumes. Okay, what irritates me about the situation is that they tried to snuff me out of my goals here in this town, and they made it sure that I couldn't find a job anywhere. That's illegal, okay? That's illegal. I have the right to survive by the means that I choose to, okay? I don't believe that a college education proves anybody's intelligence. It doesn't prove that anybody has any better skills than somebody, okay? Most of the time, in my case, and it's obvious, okay, you can look around and see that that's not true. It's not true. Okay, so that I'm not impressed with college. I'm not impressed with people telling me that they got their degree. Just about everybody has their degree. Like I said before, there was a time when a lot of minorities didn't have a degree. Okay, and nowadays, you know, there's so many of these colleges. There's so many people who are walking around with them that, in my mind, a college degree is a dime a dozen. Okay, I don't see anything that makes these people stand out in any way, shape, or form. So do I believe that people should go to college? Yes and no. Okay, I don't believe that college is a good investment for most people. Okay, and if you read the statistics, you'll find out that that's the truth. Okay, college doesn't, and I'm not bashing people who do that, but it's something that you really have to consider. Now, I'm just as employable as anybody else, and to have a situation put in place to where people are getting together and shutting me out on purpose, because I will tell you that when I first got to this town and when I was in this town, I never seen that requested before, but this was obviously a plan to try to work my plans and my ability to take care of myself, okay? I think there's some people who may have understood that this is my view on it, and so they want to put this situation and debate it. You can debate it all you want to. Just the very fact that they got together and formulated this plan proves it. Okay, it proves it. I've known several people, and I could name names about people who I've worked with who had no college at all. Okay, who are thriving and doing well. So obviously, that is, it's an excuse, and it's something that was put in place just to try to hurt me and take away my employability. Okay, you can't sit there and tell me, any employer who says, "Oh, 20 years of experience," well, no. Okay, right now, I will give you an example of why college is a scam in most cases. The very fact that colleges are in the business of making money. And there's a lot of colleges right now who are issuing textbooks in 1 year. And the very next year, they're making it very difficult to go out and get used college textbooks. Okay? Because after these students leave, they're saying, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and revise these college textbooks and making you buy new ones so that you can't. No, not all colleges, but there's a lot of them who are. So that you have to buy brand new textbooks. Okay? So are you going to tell me that the people who already graduated are going to step out into the world and their information is already obsolete or whatever? You know, that's not the case. The fact is that these people are trying to make money. It's become a scam, okay? Now, there was a time where, you know, certain cultured individuals went to college and it was supposed to make them well-rounded, well-versed in just about every subject. It's not necessarily relating to employment. It was supposed to make a person more, what's the word for it? It's supposed to make a person more dignified, you know? And I think in this case, you can look and see that that's not the case, okay? So what are people really doing? College has become a status symbol and in a way of, I don't believe that college is of any value at this point. I really don't. The reason why I wanted to go back to school is because I wanted to be a certified public accountant. That's why, okay? Not because I felt as though I needed any additional help or understanding of anything, because if I'm the one who's telling people what they did wrong, we can already tell that that's not the case, okay? Because I'm the one who has more knowledge than just about anybody who participated in this, okay? So, I don't. Okay, I'm not impressed with college. I don't think that college is of any value. I really don't. Not in this day and age. And I really don't believe that it's worth it. I don't believe that college is worth it, okay? It's just a requirement. It's simply a step that I have to take in order to get to the next step. And as far as my skills are good, okay? I understand what I need to understand, okay? Now, in terms of like certain things that do change, like for example, if you were a person who graduated from college in 1982 and you got your degree in, I don't know, like marketing or something, and you're probably still working at this day and age, you probably haven't retired yet, okay? Are you to assume that what this person learned after they left back in 1982 that they can't stay in their field? That's bullshit. You know, obviously it is bullshit. But I will tell you, from 1982 to now, terms of marketing, advertising has changed, okay? Because things change throughout the course of time. All a person really needs to do to sharpen their skills is either attend a seminar or something along those lines so that they can be brought up to date as to how things are done now. If you really look at college and you analyze it and think of it from those terms and look at the statistics of how many people are unemployed with a college degree. If you also look and see, I'm referring to a bachelor's degree and higher. If you look at people who have gone to college for 4 years or even longer, because a lot of times people get suckered into, well, I can't find a job in my field, I guess I'll go back to college and spend more money. And now they have a master's degree, and some people are still unemployed, okay? So obviously there's something wrong there, okay? And then that's what I'm trying to bring people's attention to, you know? If anybody acted out because they were jealous or whatever, you know that that's a bad excuse, because obviously you're not supposed to enact that kind of rage. And if what's behind that rage is a form of discrimination, okay? So either way you look at it, no matter how you slice it, okay, no matter how you slice it, these people are in the wrong, period. No, I don't. I'm never impressed with people who tell me they go to college. Never. Now, if you tell me that you went to Princeton, you know, you went to Harvard, and you walk out the door and you really show and demonstrate your knowledge in a way that can't be denied. I mean, like you write excellent emails and you converse in a way that is, you know, on different various subjects and that sort of thing, then I'm going to say you're a cultured, well-mannered, you know, a cultivated person, somebody who's worthy of my attention. But the majority of people that go to college don't walk out that way. It's like they were just going through the motions, and they basically are the same imbeciles that they were when they walked in the door. That's not to cut people down, but really open your eyes, people. That's the way it is. Now, I know, like I said, Steve Landry walked into Murray Family Farms, you know, and he was given a job. You know, he was given a job as a general manager. Now, that's great for him, okay? I'm not trying to hold that against him. But the point is that, you know, why should somebody be able to run an entire operation? And here I am with skills, you know what I mean? And I'm just asking for a department position, you know what I mean? When really, in fact, I have enough knowledge to run an operation with my eyes closed, okay? So that becomes a problem, and this should have never happened in the first place. So these people basically snuffed me out so that they could put me in a position where I feel helpless and I don't have any recourse, okay? My 20 years of experience is valuable, okay? It's far more valuable than a master's degree, period. And it can't be disputed, can't be denied. So anyway, I wanted to say that because for some reason that was just on my mind, and I needed to communicate that because, you know, when these things kind of pop up in my mind, I need to express them, okay? This is a part of my healing process, okay? I don't place a value on college. I don't believe that it does anything for a person. But what it does, it kind of gives people the impression that they have more skills or knowledge, but when you really put it to the test, you'll find that that's not true. I personally believe that eventually the idea is going to go back to the way it used to be. Because like I said, in the last few years, people have been making a lot of money. And if you look at companies like DeVry started off as just a regular trade school. And it was more a trade school training operation, and then they decided to convert over to being a university because they know that's where the money is. You know, they can keep you there for a longer period of time, and they can make more money. People need to think about what they invest in before they actually throw their money away. Not to say that DeVry is a bad place, because I really don't know. I know a few people who went to DeVry, and who've actually received decent educations from it. But my point is that a lot of times colleges are just there to make money, okay? And they're making suckers out of a lot of people, and people are scrambling around figuring out how they're going to get out of this debt, and you can't just discharge it. So it's a ball and chain that a lot of people are carrying around, and they're regretting it, okay? So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. The idea of going back to bed is very tempting, so I think I might do that. I'm going to kind of just play it by ear today. Not really sure what I'm going to do.